So I recently bought some equipment to help me capture my ground hunts this fall. And I put some example footage on social media and got a lot of good feedback about it. To me, it looks pretty cool. I think everyone else agreed it was some pretty cool footage. And they wanted to know what the setup was. And so I figured the easiest thing to, was just to make a video and show it in use. And then that way everybody can see it. And if they'd like to order it, they can. Because I'll put a description, in the description, I'll put a link to all the gear that I'm gonna show in this video. We're only going to talk about the gear that I'm using for ground hunts, but I'll touch on some other ways you can use it. We're not going to discuss my tree arm or my main camera or anything like that. This is just for someone who wants to capture their hunt, and if they're trying to hunt from the ground, this stuff will be really handy. First thing I'm going to show you or talk about is what I have in my hand right here. This is my basic ground setup. I've been using this for turkey hunts, and it's just an action camera. Don't worry about what brand. As long as you can mount it to a 1/4 inch threaded bolt. This camera here has a 1/4 inch threaded hole in the bottom. I can just screw it on this selfie stick or unscrew it. This selfie stick is from Insta360. It has, of course, a threaded bolt at the top. It also has a threaded hole in the bottom, and I'm able to screw in this threaded ground spike. And I use that on my turkey hunts to turn the camera on, shove it out in front of me to get that shot back at me hunting, or maybe put it over my shoulder and capture some hunts like that when a turkey comes in and I want to get that perspective of over the shoulder. I also run a high capacity SD card in my cameras, 128 gigabytes or I think 256. I have some of those also. I run an external power source. I try to get at least a 9 or 10,000 milliamp hour battery. And these run off of USB-C cords, and I have this little 90-degree adapter that I plug into my cameras. That way the cord's not protruding way out in front of the camera or off to the side. That plays a big role in the 360 camera we'll just talk about in a little bit. But basically I plug in my battery, turn on my camera, hit record, extend the selfie stick to the height that I want, and just shove it into the ground. And there you go. And you can also carry this as a traditional selfie stick, out in front of you, pointing back at you, however you want to use it. And so that's the basic piece of equipment I'm using is my little action camera. This is a Yi 4K. I'm not sure if they even produce it anymore. I'll look that up, and if I can find them, I'll put a link to them in the description as well. Insta360 selfie stick. It's about 25 or 30 inches long. And then this little ground spike. All that will be down in the video description. All right, let's talk about this other piece of equipment here. Several things here. Number one is my Insta360 camera, 360 degree camera. Got this little lens protector on it. Has a camera on both sides. This camera actually came with another camera. And the way it's made is in modules. It has a battery pack and it has the computer basically in a module, and then the camera module. And you can swap those modules out like this, and I can swap from a 360 to just a 4K. The 360 films in 5.7K, but when you break it down, a single square is not 5.7K all over. That's just the total resolution. Again, I'm using a 90-degree clip on this one, adapter for my USB-C cord. I'm having trouble putting those letter combinations together, but anyway, in my Iowa hunt, turkey hunt from this past spring, in the stitching of this 360 camera, and the two cameras stitched the footage together to become one seamless 360 degree footage. The cord was coming straight out of the camera, and you can see it in the stitched video, and it becomes a little unsightly, a little annoying to me, especially when I don't want a cord showing up in my footage. So I bought these 90-degree adapters for that, just to bring the cord straight down to eliminate that. This selfie stick here is also from Insta360. You're going to see a lot of stuff here from Insta360. This is a little bit longer stick. It's 4 foot long, and this stick is going to be nice for carrying as a selfie stick to get maybe a higher point of view above you. With a 360 camera, the stitching eliminates the selfie stick, so you don't see it in the footage, so it looks like a drone's above you filming you. Also, you could hold it like this behind you to get the footage of maybe there's a cameraman behind you following as you go through the woods and hunt. This stick and camera is attached to the Insta360 waist mount, and this waist mount is nice because You can put it around you. The selfie stick and camera will be right over your shoulder as you're doing some spot and stalk or you're doing a ground hunt. And this is what gives some really cool footage. If you know, a deer walks in, you're shooting your bow and you make a good shot, the footage, the camera's going to capture that. It's going to look like a cameraman right over your shoulder. Or if a deer shows up in another direction and you turn, not only is the camera turning, but it's also a 360 camera, so you capture all that. Everything that's going on, you capture that. The downside of this mount is the way it straps to your body. And it comes with a Velcro strap, which we don't want that out in the deer woods. And so I removed it and replaced it with this strap that I got off of Amazon, and just a little buckle here. And I'll put a link to those in the description. And that way I can buckle it up quietly, unbuckle it, cinch it up, and it doesn't make all that noise. The other downside of this mount here, if you're running the selfie stick behind you and you're walking at a normal pace, the camera stick tends to bounce a lot and gives you a weird effect that doesn't look very good. So that's why I recommend, if you're walking at a normal pace, maybe just hold the stick out behind you to give that perspective of a cameraman behind you. But otherwise, if you're walking real slowly, creeping through the woods, you're set up, you're shooting, all that's going to be nice and solid. A big plus to this waist mount is if you've got your saddle with you or your hang-on stand, and you get to your ground setup and you decide, oh, there's a tree right there that would be more suitable for this location, I want to hunt from that tree. You take the strap, this waist mount off, you unstrap it, and then just strap it to the tree. And it'll go around a pretty big tree, and it'll go around a pretty small tree. So you have a lot of variation there that you can, as far as sizes of trees, you can mount it to. I would just mount it above me. You can adjust the angle of the stick, just loosen that bolt up there, extend the stick, and now you got a camera out above you, filming 360. It's going to capture everything. You drawing the bow, the deer coming in, you shooting the deer. A great piece of equipment right here, I believe, to not miss that shot. Again, like the other camera, I'm running an external battery on this one with about a 6-foot long USB-C cord. The battery on this one is 26,000 milliamp hours. This camera is demanding, and so that I need a bigger battery to power it for at least 2 hunts. I keep 2 of them. One's charged or charging while this one's in use, and that way I can just swap them out and I never miss a day of hunting because of that. So there you have it, my basic setup for ground hunting this fall: an Insta360 360-degree camera, 4-foot Insta360 selfie stick mounted to a Insta360 waist mount, and then I have my other action camera and selfie stick with ground spike, so that I can use these in conjunction. I can do spot and stalks, I can set up on the ground. I've got this camera capturing everything around me and getting those cool over the shoulder shots, and let's say that one more time, over the shoulder shots. And then I have my other camera that I can, with the ground spike, and just stick it in front of me on the ground so I can talk to it and narrate what's going on, or carry it in front of me and narrate what's going on while this camera is over my shoulder. And so I think with just these couple of items, you can capture your hunt this fall and it'll look very good. If you edit it the right way, you're gonna have something that everyone wants to watch, especially if you get that awesome shot of tagging that deer this fall. So there you go, my setup for this fall for ground deer hunting.